Hey everyone, I'm going to go over the cube and Blacksail farming strategy that I'm using in Timemark 8 and higher. Yes, I was using a little bit of cube and a little bit of Blacksail in the earlier, smaller void charts in 7 because you do need early access to your slates and your memories. However, once you get into Timemark 8, you get much better slates and memories. So this strategy becomes more valuable, and that's why I kind of smashed them together with this current strategy I'm going to go over. It's kind of working right now. It is hit or miss, especially in the memory department for those really, really big rare ones. But, it's what you got to do if you're hunting them. So here we go. We're going to dive right into it. Right away, we'll start with the cube because that's the big one here. As always, you have the option to throw 15 points into the top. If you do not want to use the compasses, I will go over the compasses at the end. But if you really don't want to use compasses, you can sacrifice points elsewhere, make a judgment call, and you can save some compass money. All right, so what we're doing here, the main goal, at least for what I'm using the cube for, I understand a lot of people love the slot machine. Yes, I am not a fan of the slot machine at the end of the cube, but I am a fan of other things cubes provide. And the main thing I'm going for are the legendary slates. This is the big thing for me. And how do we get these? Well, we need to have some Malice Incarnation bosses. So once we have the chance to get the slates, which is the first part we like, we now load up the map with as many monsters and chance at bosses as we can. That's essentially what these do. This doubles the monsters. This gives you a chance to take over the whole stage, or this one does, and this gives you the judge. Point is, everything here gives you more monsters, which is going to lead to more legendary slates. Finally, this part here I'm putting in temporarily because the path of progress requires you to use these legendary branding wedges. And at least in Timemark 8, from my experience, unless you have this, you're not getting these branding wedges. So you have two options. You either spec a little bit into here and you pick up these while you're farming so you can complete your path of progression objectives, or you just go to the auction house. I think currently they're at 10 FE each. You're going to need 20 of these, so that's like 200 FE. I'm farming cube anyway. I might as well save some money. That's why they're in here. All right. We're going over to our base tree. I am a big fan, personally, of putting this in every Timemark 8 or higher chart I'm doing. The bases are just too important, at least for my own progression. Do they all sell for a lot of money? Not really, but just the chance at having them is a big deal to me. So I throw this in every chart. You don't have to. If you don't like it, there's 16 points you can move over to save a compass maybe. But I recommend it. You're not going to see a lot of them doing it this way because you're not targeting gear dropping necessarily. But I have found a good, handful by doing this. So it's definitely worth investing into, in my opinion. I am now going to the Blacksail part of the tree. Personally, I don't really have a problem finding threads for my own personal thread usage. I understand there's a thread market. And if you want to be the thread entrepreneur that you are and get into the selling thread game, maybe you invest into here instead of gear. Sure, I can respect that. I personally am not so thirsty for the threads, and I really don't like being a thread salesman in the market, so I'm ignoring that part of the tree. Over here is the memory part of the tree. I like memories. That's the point why I'm doing this. I want to find those +2 pink memories. Also, in case you weren't aware, you can just disenchant the memories and they give you threads. So while I'm farming these memories, I'm still farming the threads for myself. So it's kind of a win-win. I'm not putting the points in here. We are using the Blacksail compass. But again, if you want to save compasses, you have that as an option. We have maps sustaining here because this strategy, as I said, isn't the most reliable for instant FE gains. This isn't what I would use if all I care about is making those FEs fast. This is probably not the strategy for you. But because of what I'm doing is pretty tedious, I can also combo in some map sustain. So if I'm ever running low on maps for other strategies I'm doing and I don't want to buy maps, I now switch over to my cube farming strategy, replenish my maps while I'm doing my cube and my Blacksail. So it's kind of hitting three birds with one stone, filling up gaps in my resources that I'm using because I don't like personally buying them from the auction house. So that is why we have the maps here. And there you go. Finally, we have some extra points. Again, if you don't want to use compasses, you can use these points to not have to use the compasses, but these are my extra points that I had left over. And as you can see, we went drop quantity, drop quantity, drop quantity, drop quantity, drop quantity, drop quantity, and rare monsters. Rare monsters are important because of the map strategy we're doing. And this is like rare monsters gives you more maps, or magic monsters, they're called, sorry. They give you more maps. Well, let's add some more magic monsters. Over in the profound talent, this is kind of my default for most of my things right now because I'm not hyper targeting anything. I do love me my 5% drop quantity, even though I don't have 55, I don't get the 10%. The 5 is good enough. It's better than 2 2s, right? That's only 4, right? This is more. The other options you have is if you can survive the maps and you're not dying, this is probably your best option. If you're big and strong and you have your defenses layers, this will give you an extra 25% drop quantity as well as some more rarity. It will make the map harder and it will restrict the amount of times you can die. So if you're dying, you're going to lose your map and I don't recommend it. But if you're big and strong, boom, more loot. More loot is good. This is the one I'm using right now because it doesn't really make my monster stronger. There's not really a big negative. The negative is I don't get star shards in Timemark 8. I'll be honest, I'm not really a big fan of the Timemark 8 bosses. If I really want to fight them or fight Traveler, I'll just buy those keys. But I don't mind sacrificing that. How often do I get the rarer cards? Not every time, but when they do show up, it feels pretty good. If you are using expensive compasses, I don't recommend using this for the cheap compasses that I'm going to show you, but if you're using expensive compasses because you want to really, really juice this strategy up, this is an option. It'll make the monsters a little stronger, but you get the chance of, like, if your compass is 50 FE, 100 FE per compass, you know, 10% chance to save 100 FE it sounds pretty good to me. Finally, this one I don't like that much. I'd rather take this one. It's kind of the same thing. It gives you a third. It doesn't guarantee it, but you know, you get an off chance. But the problem here is it makes the monster stronger, whereas this one doesn't. So that's why I prefer this one. And well, if you really want star shards, obviously you don't do this. You get the star shards over there. So those are your options for the profound. Finally, we'll go over and show you those compasses real quick. The compasses I personally like to use, because they are the cheapest ones I can find to make the strategy work, are the Cube Blue Compass, the Blacksail Blue Compass, and the Blue Magic Monster Compass. Once again, as we went over, the Magic Monsters synergize with our map farming, as well as other farming strategies that we have linked in here. So that's why the Magic Monsters are there. All right, guys. I hope this helps you understand the cube and the Blacksail mechanic a little bit more and helps you find those rare divinity slates and high tier memories we're all hunting. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments on YouTube. It takes me a little while to get there. So if you're looking for a quick instant reply, I am streaming every day live over on Twitch this season. Hop over to Twitch. You can get your question answered instantly. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next video. Happy hunting.